What if I told you there's a career path that can put you at the center of global business, pays well, and offers flexibility no matter where you live?
Well, I would say sign me up. I've already signed up. Anyways, I'm Michelle, and today we're going to uncover why supply chain is one of the most lucrative, impactful fields that you could get into, even if you've never heard of it before. So today, we're going to have a resource for you after the podcast. So just visit our website, Ascendant Pros, and go to the resources section. So that'll be there for you. It'll be called the 2025 Supply Chain and Procurement Job Market and Salary Trends. It's going to be a great resource for you guys. It's going to deep dive into salaries by role and the real impact that certification has on your salary in supply chain. So just as I said, visit our website after the podcast and feel free to download it.
Yeah, so let's talk about why supply chain is a goldmine career path. First, it is critical to every industry, whether you're working in tech, healthcare, energy, retail, government, doesn't matter. This is critical to every sector. Everybody buys things, but then even beyond that, this role goes far beyond just buying. It is so broad-based in the variety of functional areas that we cover, the amount of job scopes that are available. There is literally something for everyone, no matter if you're interested in contracts, material management, procurement, logistics, demand planning, strategic sourcing, and the list goes on and on. There is such a growing demand in this field and also a talent shortage. So, that all equates to higher salaries and better job security. Next week, we're going to do a closer look into the various career paths that can lead to that supply chain goldmine. Just to kind of give you an overarching view, it's procurement and sourcing, logistics and distribution, planning and forecasting, operations and inventory management, and then quality and continuous improvement. So definitely tune in next week when we go over those two.
Just to give you a little information that you could use today, entry level, which usually consists of like buyers and analysts, they have very competitive starting salaries. The mid-level, which is like managers and demand planners, you can expect a strong six-figure potential. Senior level, directors and executives, they have some major earning potential and influence, as you can imagine. But I will say that if you do have your certification, like Beth and I do, we are both CPSM-certified through ISM, that plays a major role in your salary and salary bumps. As you know, Beth, I really love facts and figures. And every year I look forward to the ISM salary survey. So preparing for this episode, I did a little bit of a deep dive into that ISM salary survey for 2025 because it's some new information. I just wanted to share with you guys some key highlights from that, which I think that you're going to be excited about. There's been a slight increase in average salary across the profession, despite economic uncertainty and demographic shifts. AI and data analytics are being spotlighted as super transformative tools for supply chain optimization. And I mention that because of the prevalence of AI and data analytics right now in the field. If that is one of your great skill sets, I say, go full steam ahead, learn about these things because you don't want to get left behind. That's going to be a major factor in supply chain salaries, moving forward. Right now, I think I read that the average total compensation for supply management professionals is about $130K, which is up from 2024. In 2024, it was $127K. So another bit of good news. CPSM-certified professionals, they earn a median of $136K a year. That is $18,000 more than peers without certification. That is just that's astronomical. It's huge. Salary growth is really strong. Over 60% of respondents to the survey did report that they had a raise this year. And I also want to mention something that that hits close to home for us. Certification matters for women in supply chain. The gender gap, where in other areas for non-certified, the gender gap in salary persists. However, they found that women with CPSM certification are nearly equal to men in mid-career roles. And I think that's exciting because, as women, we're always, trying to fight for that salary equality. So get certified. That is a great answer to that problem. And then the other thing that the advice that I would like to mention is stick with it. If you are new to this field, just stick with it and learn all that you can, because experience does matter in the field. Professionals with 10 plus years in supply management, like Beth and I, they tend to earn 40% more than those with under 5 years. So once you get past that 5 year point, your earning potential increases dramatically. Like, I just think that's a crazy figure.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, there's remote flexibility, hybrid roles. That is linked to high satisfaction, retention in jobs, which is amazing. And also use that as a negotiation tactic. And then, as I mentioned, coming in hot, if you have talent with skills in AI and data analytics and automation, those are going to be huge for you in the coming years. So stick with that as well and keep learning.
Definitely. I second that on the AI front. That is something that's new technology that is not going anywhere. It will be here, and it will just continue to take even more significant roles in our day-to-day lives. So I would definitely say, there's a lot of people who are resistant to new technologies. There's a lot of people who see it as controversial, but it's a tool, and it can be used to much increase your productivity and your efficiencies. But anybody who doesn't embrace it is absolutely going to be left behind. So I just really want to encourage everybody to start learning it and start adopting it into your work practices.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I just wanted to. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to mention that, like, I attended the ISM conference this year in Orlando, ISM World 2025, and AI was literally everywhere. I mean, it was in every session I went to. I actually made it my focus for the year. I learned so much about it. And, like, as Beth said, if you do not embrace it, you will be left behind in your salary. So, that is going to be a huge factor in salaries moving forward.
Yeah. Not just salaries, though. I feel like it's going to affect jobs. There's so many.
Like keeping your job.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the thing. It's kind of scary because there's a lot of roles that I think will end up being replaced by AI, because it's that efficient. And that's where the quicker you can learn it, the quicker you can find ways to make it work for you, the more AI proof your job becomes. But I tell you what, I use it every day in my personal life and at work. And it's like, it just makes you can accomplish 1,000 times more with it than you ever could without it. So, for me, it's like, it's a no-brainer to use it,
Oh, 100%.
But I just wanted to add on too, though, like, one of the perks and benefits of being in supply chain too is that there's a lot of global travel opportunities, especially because now the world is of a global commerce center. Supply chain a lot of times has need to travel to go visit suppliers, go visit warehouses, do quality checks, go meet in person for agreements or negotiations. And, that's just something, if you're interested in the global travel or climbing the corporate ladder, this role definitely puts you in the path where that is a really real opportunity for you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of on the tail end of that. I loved it at first, the travel. Now I'm a homebody. I like being at home.
Oh, give me a plane ticket. Send me somewhere. I love to travel.
I love traveling for myself.
One of the best perks.
But if it's for personal reasons, yeah, definitely sign me up. But I just want to give a real world example too in regard to the salary, because when you're going through all of those stats, I kind of think about my own story. I went from starting in one position, and I think about 5 years later, I had gotten my certification, had completed it, and within that time frame, I'm more than doubled my salary, which is an insane increase because I already started off with a good salary. But typically, in order to get an increase like that, which most of them aren't even doubling your salaries, is you would have to leave the organization you're with and find another job that pays you like, the 20, 30,000 or whatever it is more. Um, and that's still not equal to doubling your salary, if typically if you're starting off at the standard ranges. And promotions a lot of times don't even land you with that level of increase either. I lived it. This is not just something that like we're just talking about blindly or throwing out stats. This is real life information that we're sharing with you that we personally lived. So
yeah, and I can echo exactly what Beth said because the same thing happened to me. So it makes me so thankful to be part of this profession. It's really amazing the things that you can do in the supply chain and procurement profession. It really is a goldmine. So now I just want to get in really quick for a little mini lesson. So we're gonna go through 3 ways to turn supply chain into your personal goldmine. One of the most important things is to learn the language of business, finance, data analytics, negotiation, AI. I know we keep harping on this, but it is so true. And then don't forget like how important it is to focus on continuous learning of soft skills. For me, I'm very passionate about communication. That is one of the soft skills, that I am super passionate about. These soft skills can only help you elevate your career. So, learn the soft skills, negotiation, communication, as I said, change management, just focus on a good mix of the technical skills and the soft skills. That is some great advice. Also, leverage certifications. Certifications are going to show your return on investment to your company and help you with your salary boost. And then the third one would be say yes to those stretch assignments. Stretch assignments, like if you volunteer for something that comes up, even if you don't know how to do it or you don't know much about it, don't shrink back. Like say yes to it, learn how to do it, communicate, ask questions, because it's just going to improve your visibility within your organization. And it will lead to leadership opportunities because, leadership wants people with can do and say yes attitudes. So, don't let nervousness because you don't know exactly know what you're talking about, like make you say no, say yes.
What is that saying? Whenever there's a good opportunity, say yes and figure it out on the go.
Exactly.
But I just want to share a story on that I think about this is probably about a decade ago. But at the time I had a director, he ended up being my VP, but I got invited to this executive level meeting involving some of the procurements that were at play at the time. Very, very tension-filled meeting. I was newer to the organization and, I hadn't obtained my certification at that point. So I kind of let intimidation take over and I kind of went with the whole position of I'm going to just observe. I'm here, just to listen. But afterwards, my VP, he was director at the time, but he came over, he pulled me to the side and he said, "You cannot be a wallflower." And that to this day still sticks with me because number one, it made me realize that, man, I screwed that one up and that I needed to do better. But then it was empowering too, because even though I felt intimidated at first, I was newer. I didn't really know if it was my place to speak up in that meeting, but it was empowering. And then I kind of equated to one of those stretch assignments where you look for opportunities. You are there for a purpose. You were hired for the skill set and the expertise that you bring to the table, and you should be speaking up. So anyways, that's what I was just thinking about when you were sharing that, Michelle, is that no matter if you're feeling uncomfortable, if you feel intimidated at all, just do it.
just hold your breath and do it. But it's such great advice. I love little like breadcrumb tidbits like that you pick up from, people who become your mentors and things like that. Like you will never forget that piece of advice. And, sometimes, the opportunities that we don't take, like you thought you were going to observe and sit back, but I don't think that you made a mistake at all. I just think that you turned it into a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's those people that we work
Mhm.
with that become our mentors that also see learning opportunities for the people around them. And he pointed that out to you. And I think if you are working with a team and you see something like that, where you can point out something to one of your colleagues, like, hey, you know, maybe, you know, in this situation, you should do this or that, you know, it's, you know, speak up, because we are all, you know, we're all in it together. And, you know, those things become those life defining, career defining moments.
Definitely. And I tell you what, I learned my lesson and I approached things entirely different after that. And well, you know, I mean, I had a really great relationship with them afterwards, and I had favor of the leadership teams that developed in part, you know, due to just that like small interaction.
Yeah, it's crazy how those little things become like those, you know, huge moments in our careers.
So I just wanted to kind of just throw this again out here that, you know, everything that we're talking about is based on real experience. You know, we pull the stats, and Michelle went through and looked at the ISM numbers, and there's a lot of like reports and metrics that we, you know, have access to, and that you would have access to as well. But, you know, we have a combined, you know, many decades of experience in this, in supply chain and leadership roles. We're both CPSM certified. We both have served on the board of directors for our local chapters for ISM. Michelle was actually VP for our local chapter for a couple of years. I think I mentioned on the last call that I'm an ISM qualified CPSM instructor. You know, we've been living it day in, day out. We are 100% not just, you know, throwing smoke at you guys. We are only talking from experience, and we want you to know that this is something that we 100% stand behind. This is a lucrative field. It is a good field. There's something for everyone, and can open doors for you in the future.
It does open, it opens major doors for you. And that the VP position on the board, that was one of those examples of a say yes moment, because I was like, oh my gosh, what am I even doing? But you know, in that role, I learned so much, and I built relationships across the supply chain and procurement community in my city. It was just invaluable. So, you know, say yes, say yes, say yes. But anyways, I'd like to just invite our listeners to, you know, download the 2025 supply chain and market salary trends infographic that we have, that we mentioned at the beginning. That'll be in the resources section of our website, ascendantpros.com. Just, you know, and I would also encourage you, you know, share this episode with your peers or with someone who's exploring new career options or wanting a raise. This infographic will help you know your worth. And as I said, you know, that's a tool that you'll be able to use. I also really want to encourage you guys to visit us on social media. You know, we're on all the socials: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm probably missing a ton of them, but you know, but it really is a passion of ours to share supply chain and procurement learning tips and tricks. So we'll be posting some content there that we would love for you to get involved and get into the conversation with us. You know, share your stories. We would love to hear your stories. So, you know, visit us on the socials and comment, like, share. It would mean the world to us. But next week, we're really excited for next week. We're going to break down the 6 core functions of supply chain. So that way you can figure out where you might fit and what skill set is going to take you to the top.
And there's going to be an assessment too, which Michelle and I are both going to take. I'm pretty certain mine is going to say that I need to be on a beach in Aruba somewhere. That's my destiny.
Yeah, I'll be on the beach in Aruba with you. You'll be on the beach. I'll be in the water diving with the sharks. But I am pretty sure that's what the assessment is going to say. It's funny. But I think Beth and I are both going to take that assessment. We are not going to share our results with each other until next week's episode. So tune in for that. And then, you know, and then after that, after you take the assessment, we want to hear back from you. You know, where do you fit in? Did the assessment kind of shed some light on some skills you didn't know you had. I guess stay tuned.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.